The Create 2011 Creativity in Education Conference, hosted by MTSU and sponsored by the Tennessee Arts Commission, recently welcomed more than 400 K-12 teachers and administrators from across the state and beyond to the MTSU campus. Students and teachers from the Covington Integrated Arts Academy in Covington, Tennessee, kicked off the evening with singing and dancing that celebrated the arts in education.
Hey, what's up, dude? Did you have a hard time learning the dance? Are you feeling left out? Oh, well, don't be sad. Hey, I know just the place you can go.
It's fun to teach at the CIA. It's fun to teach at the CIA.
MTSU President Sidney A. McPhee offered greetings and reminded guests of MTSU's roots going back 100 years.
I want you to know that even though from 1911 we started as a teacher training normal institute, and even though we have grown and have added programs, we have not forgotten our mission, our primary mission, and that is educating and training teachers for this state and for this nation.
Singer and songwriter Jimmy Wayne was the featured speaker. Wayne performed songs and shared his personal story of abuse and abandonment as a child.
My mother was standing at the trunk of the car, and she handed me my clothes. And she reached over and she gave me a hug. I remember it very well. And she got back in the car, and they drove away, and they never come back. It was a strange state, strange city I'd never seen in my life, and it was midnight. I was 13 years old, and I was homeless for the first time.
Wayne has walked across America to draw attention to the plight of homeless children. He is the national spokesman for Foster Club, a national network for children in foster care. The Creativity in Education Conference, which was held in MTSU's new College of Education building, is the result of the Tennessee Art Commission's successful Value Plus Schools initiative, an arts-integrated model funded by a grant from the U.S. Department of Education. Founded as a normal school, a teacher training institution in 1911, MTSU and the conference were a perfect fit. The sessions ranged from using storytelling in the classroom to teaching the crash, boom, bang of language. In some workshops, people clapped, danced, cheered, and chanted. Some sessions were designed to use art to teach values and to respect the differences among people. There was hip-hop, songs and dances from West Africa, and drama and creative movement with children with disabilities. One panel discussion tackled the age-old question, why are the arts the first to go in a budget crisis? Dr. Lana Sievers, Dean of the College of Education at MTSU, said that MTSU was delighted to host a conference that brought together so many distinguished educators and addressed the hot topics of the day.
Less than a year, it's evolved into something that's been tremendous sessions. I've heard teachers repeatedly say, can't wait to go back and actually try this in my classroom. So that part is exciting to see them invigorated about what they're doing. I think from an educational standpoint, we know that students who are exposed to the arts are more successful in school. Numeracy, literacy, all that is enhanced through the arts. Unfortunately, the arts are one of the first things to go in a budget cut. So the administrative track of this session has focused on some of those sorts of things and how we can continue to support the arts in our schools. All in all, I think it's been a tremendous experience. I wish I had time to go to a whole track of sessions, but it's been I think, too, one of the first of many things we'll have in this building to support our pre-K-12 educators and higher ed educators.
We know as educators that
It isn't learning until it jumps off the lesson plan page and comes alive. That's what 5th, 6th, and 7th graders from Mitchell-Nielsen Elementary School in Murfreesboro are learning at Middle Tennessee State's annual Camp PRiSM.
From what I've heard during our planning meetings and what I've seen on the upcoming schedule, it looks like it'll be a really fun, exciting, interesting experience for these kids, being able to see how math and science actually gets applied in the real world.
The value of Camp PRiSM is actually integrating the kids with MTSU and letting them explore more math and science, and just giving them the experience that some of these kids would have not ever had. The places that we get to go, some of them have never been to the zoo, some of them have never heard about the wastewater treatment plant here in Murfreesboro, so just giving them experiences in life and tying in math and science and collaborating with MTSU.
Since the hospital has opened this year, we're going to get to tour that, which obviously is new. The kids are excited. We also have some ladies coming this afternoon who are bringing their birds, who actually dress up apparently. So this will be new for the teachers also. I think the kids will really enjoy that. We have the Discovery Center coming in this year, which is different.
PRiSM, which stands for Practices in Science and Math, is a partnership between Murfreesboro City Schools and MTSU. The program was started in 2002 by Dr. Rebecca Callahan of the MTSU Department of Mathematical Sciences.
There are some new activities we've thrown into the camp this year. I really am looking forward to going to the farmers market. Some of the kids don't know about the farmers market. The Murfreesboro Airport, for example, that's going to be an exciting field trip for the kids to really see what goes on for Aerospace. And I think just getting the exposure at City Hall and knowing what goes on in our community will be exciting for the kids.
Coming to this camp and being exposed to how math does get used, they see some of the cool, interesting, exciting ways that it can be used, then it might spark their interest on a potential career path.
The program not only caters to the elementary students of Mitchell-Nielsen, but is also designed to provide MTSU students who want to be teachers with the opportunity to interact and teach these children. The program lasts for 2 weeks and is designed to get elementary students more interested in math and science while providing learning opportunities for both MTSU and Mitchell-Nielsen students.
Really? Did you just figure that out?
It allows them to actually like science and math, not just think of it as, oh, it's schoolwork. So they become involved in these activities and not actually know that they're working with science and math sometimes.
It's one of those things that they'll look back on their school career and go, I remember that summer when I went to EMTSU, or I went to the hospital and I want to be a doctor, or I went to Nissan and I want to build cars, or hopefully, it's going to lead them to toward their lifelong dreams.
At its heart, education surrounds us with everything we need to reach our dreams. It puts us in the middle of a host of opportunities. One university puts you in the middle of everything. Middle Tennessee State University, Tennessee's best.
Desde Middle Tennessee State University, le damos la bienvenida a nuestra serie sobre las oportunidades para una educación superior en Tennessee.
Hola, me llamo Chrissy y fui estudiante en MTSU. Estudié el periodismo y español como asignaturas principales. Me gusta MTSU porque aprendí mucho y mis profesores fueron muy serviciales. Hay muchas clases para elegir ofrecidas en diferentes horarios. Por eso pude trabajar tiempo completo y asistir a la universidad a la misma vez. fue mucho trabajo, pero valió la pena. Me gradué en mayo y mi educación mejorará mis oportunidades para obtener un trabajo mejor. Por mi educación tengo más opciones de trabajo. Recomiendo que todos asistan a una universidad para lograr sus sueños.
Financiado por Title I of the Carl D. Perkins Career and Technical Education Act of 2006.
Well, hi again, everyone. Welcome back to more of Out of the Blue. I'm Bob Pondillo, a professor at MassComm here at Middle Tennessee State University. And we have a special guest today, Director Susan Waldrop, Director of the Project HELP here on the campus of MTSU. And we want to find out more about that. It's been here a long time. And before we went on the air, I said, is that on campus? So it just shows you, it's been here for like 30 years, but a lot of people don't know about Project HELP.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can do something to change that a little bit.
That would be good.
Well, tell us about Project HELP. What do you do? I know it has much to do about children and parents as well.
Right.
Yeah. How does that work?
Project HELP is an early intervention preschool, which basically means that we provide early education for a diverse population of kids.
Okay.
Up until this week, all those children were under the age of 3. And in the state of Tennessee, children who have special needs have special kinds of requirements, and so one of the things that some families choose is a center-based program, and that's what we are.
Center-based, so the kids go to the center.
Right,
they come,
right.
You don't go to them, they come here.
No,
Yeah,
no, but it is what we call a natural environment, which is basically kind of like inclusion in the public schools, which means that in each one of our sessions, half of the children are developing typically, and the other half have special needs.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
really
right.
a pretty cool plan.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. Now, is it one of those things where parents recognize there's maybe something wrong, and then they take the kids for an assessment?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What usually occurs is someone, grandma, or an aunt, or the pediatrician says, you know, things are looking a little strange developmentally, and they refer the family to a place called Tennessee Early Intervention System. And the same person who founded Project HELP also brought that system to this part of the state, Dr. Ann Campbell. And so as a result of that, we get all of our referrals for children who have problems through that particular.
Right. Now, when you say problems, what kind of problems are we talking about?
Well, it pretty much runs the continuum. We have children, as probably most folks know, on the autism spectrum. There's a good bit of information about that now.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And we also have children with diagnoses such as Down syndrome or spina bifida or cerebral palsy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have children who just have some delays or lags. And so before things crank up and get worse,
Sure,
it's really
yeah.
nice to
So
have a
when you
place for
say
them to go.
Intervention, that's what you mean. If a child, you know, they're obvious, like if a young child has spina bifida or you know, clear problems, but then there are some folks, some little kids that look normal, whatever that means, but you know what I mean, look the way kids you would think at that age would be and behave, and yet they're not behaving that way. Exactly. And that's when they come forward and you have a chance. So it's not only helping the kids, it's helping the parent as well. I guess you train the parents even.
We really work towards being supportive individually. Families have a variety of needs. This is a lot of information to be getting that you didn't expect. And so people are at different places in their journey, and we just try to assist them along that way, never telling them what to do, just giving them ideas.
Sort of helping out, sure, providing the support. That's great, especially when something as emotional and as important, you know, as your child.
It's your baby.
Yeah, as your baby, even better. Yeah, you have to. And sometimes, since it doesn't come with a manual, like
Right.
you know, you feel lost, completely lost. So to have this on the MTSU campus and here for such a long time as well. So I'm sure you've gone through thousands of, helped thousands of kids, I would say.
Children, babies, certainly, and MTSU students as well. We train about 300 MTSU students a year, many of whom are going to be teachers and need some hands-on experience with children who have special needs.
Wow,
And,
so I didn't realize. So it's almost like a lab component. So as a teaching.
Right, and we also have interns from a variety of disciplines, but we see a lot of MTSU students.
Wow, that's great.
It's
I
fun.
mean, this is such an important, you know, part of an initial, sort of a foundational thing for kids who have problems. What a great idea. Well, tell me about, you said prior to yesterday, just yesterday or something, 3-year-olds were, what was that, like the cutoff point or something? And now it's different?
In the United States, and I'm not sure why this was mandated, but once a child turns 3, they're under the purview of the public school system. And as you can well imagine, sending your toddler to public schools is pretty daunting for some folks.
I didn't know that. This is a federal law that says this?
Yeah, you know, who knows?
Who knew?
But anyway, so we are giving families an option. We started this week a 3-year-old class.
Oh, that's great. So just 3, then 3 to 4 or something?
It's,
and then...
we got some United Way money. In 2008, opened a morning class in a different facility than the Baird Lane site. And it was just morning only. And so now in the afternoon, they're 3-year-olds there.
That's super. Now, I'm sure there are folks at home watching who think, maybe I want to check into this. This might be something really important for my kid or for a young child I know about. What is a person to do now?
Well, there are a variety of things to do. Obviously, going to their physician is a good place to start. The Tennessee Early Intervention System has a telephone number, 904-3636. And they will be glad to share information and do an evaluation. And but of course, people can always call me.
Super. Well, that's great. I appreciate your time and all the wonderful work you do and the wonderful work of this organization as well. It's called Project Help, and we were talking with Susan Waldrop, the director of Project Help here on the MTSU campus. Thank you, Susan, very much for joining us. And there'll be more of Out of the Blue in just a moment. Stay right there.
We started in 1911 with a clear mission to train Tennessee's best teachers. For the last 100 years, Middle Tennessee State University has carried out that mission and so much more. Nationally recognized as an affordable quality university, the #1 choice of undergraduates in Tennessee. As we celebrate our centennial, we look with pride at the past. We look forward to the future. Check out why we're Tennessee's best.
Desde Middle Tennessee State University, le damos la bienvenida a nuestra serie sobre las oportunidades para una educación superior en Tennessee.
Hola, yo me llamo Brandon, soy estudiante y trabajo también. Tengo 22 años y he vivido aquí en Tennessee pues toda mi vida. Nunca pensé que pudiera aprender otro lenguaje, pero estuve equivocado. Empecé a estudiar español cuando estaba en la escuela secundaria y desde aquel entonces me ha encantado el lenguaje español y también la cultura latina. Sobre todo, los profesores fueron los que más me ayudaron. La decisión de ir a una universidad quizá es la mejor que he tomado. La educación me ayudó a alcanzar algo que nunca creí posible. Les aconsejo que se vayan a la universidad también, para que ustedes puedan alcanzar sus sueños igual. La educación te lleva a donde tú quieras.
Financiado por Title I of the Carl D. Perkins Career and Technical Education Act of 2006.
MTSU, it's different here.
At its heart, education surrounds us with everything we need to reach our dreams. It puts us in the middle of a host of opportunities. One university puts you in the middle of everything. Middle Tennessee State University, Tennessee's best.
CSI MTSU, a 4-day program designed to allow high school students the opportunity to explore many unique career possibilities in forensic science.
I'm Dr. Hugh Behrman. I'm Director of FIRE, the Forensic Institute for Research Education. And every year, this is the 5th year that we've put on a CSI MTSU, which is a summer camp, forensic camp for high school kids. Each year we have a different crime scene that's set up, and I work crime scenes, and so I'm familiar with them. And so we set up very realistic crime scenes, and we have scenarios that the students they have to do. They have to determine first, is it a crime, and if it is, who did it, and they have to get the evidence, and they have to get the evidence in such a way it could be presented in court. So they have to document what they're doing.
Student investigators are presented with simulations of actual crime scenes. Students are then divided into teams and directed by a coach and forensic professional in order to investigate these crime scenes. In these scenarios, students develop skills in teamwork and critical thinking while learning how to pay close attention to detail.
For the first day, we started out learning fingerprints and types, and we had to figure out which criminal had which fingerprint, and then that's how we determined which groups we were in.
This is a CSI summer camp. We come here to learn about the forensics, which a lot of us want to do in our later careers. We learn about the different scenarios such as bones, fingerprints, and all kinds of scenarios that will help us later in our careers.
Each student is trained in the fundamental processes of collecting evidence such as DNA, fingerprints, hair and fibers, simulated blood spatter, and shoe prints. Additionally, the students are trained in how to process the evidence, conduct interviews, and formulate theories while working within a team environment. During the last afternoon of the camp, teams present detailed theories of the crime and the conclusions they have reached. Team conclusions are critiqued by a panel of forensic scientists. CSI MTSU is an exciting opportunity for high school students to steal a glimpse into various forensic careers and provide a rewarding experience not easily forgotten. Who says you can't have fun and learn at the same time? 75 K-12 teachers from across the state came to MTSU last month to participate in a 3-week aerospace workshop. They came for 2 reasons: to have a blast, but more importantly, to take back some creative ideas for teaching math and science to their students.
We are responsible for making sure that they do well on their test at the end of the year. But we can definitely try to apply it in different ways, especially that end of the year period of time where you can do more of the fun activities and things like that. And you can try to put it into the curriculum, just find ways to make it mesh and kind of do that cross-curricular kind of thing.
For me, it's looking outside the box because I do teach careers to students and I'm in high school. So this is something that I can take back to my students, and these are options for them, you know, to get them more interested in the aerospace program.
So for a while, the teachers were the students, and faculty members in the College of Basic and Applied Sciences guided them through experiments, presented lectures on important subjects, and even took them on field trips. Some of their excursions included the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center in Alabama and the Naval Air Museum in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, here comes the cicada. Here comes the cicada. The cicada.
And this year I came because it was good last year. They do a very good job, and you learn a lot of things, and it's fun. I mean, it's not often you can throw things off of a building and not get in trouble for it. So this has been fun.
We have a lot of great ideas. Carla, one of our workshop leaders, is actually a kindergarten teacher, so she has given us tons of things that we can use in our classroom. She's actually physically brought them to us and said, here you go. Okay. So we have lots of songs and just lots and lots of things. This workshop has been so interesting, just learning about like parts of a plane and like things I wasn't really interested in before, but now I have this huge interest in space and NASA and aeronautics.
What these folks may not know yet is that there will be a final exam at the end of the 3 weeks. Hopefully, amidst all the fun of launching rockets, dropping eggs, and flying hot air balloons, they're also taking good notes. Their students just might ask them for their report cards.
We're going to start with the jersey, all right? Now you make sure that our jerseys are slim fitting, close to the body. Some of you realized that earlier when you tried.
You're never too old to learn. Students who came back to campus for MTSU's Alumni Summer College had the chance to renew old friendships and spin yarns about those days in the dormitory. They even spent an afternoon getting a crash course in football apparel and accessories. This class was definitely out of control.
Here at Middle, we're fortunate. We have 12 different uniform combinations, all right? So if we play 12-game season like we do, we have the capability of wearing a different uniform every game. We really can. And I think outside of Oregon, we may be the only other school in the country that's able to do that. Back there in the back behind the table are all 12 uniform combinations. The pant comes with a belt. Some of our pants, the newer models, the gray pant and the black pant, the belt is built into the pant. The white pant and the blue pant is not. So the belt comes with the pant. I ain't taking those. Give it
Join us in celebrating 100 years of MTSU history. Check out the Centennial Timeline at mtsu.edu/centennial.